This is part 2 of the Fields of Athenry lesson. So far we should have this from part 1. I'm just going to play it all the way through. Okay, so that's what we learned in part 1. Okay, part 2, still the same 3 chords, D, G and A, but they're variation chords. So the D chord we're playing for this section is here. Nice bar chord for you there. So it's fifth, starts in the 5th fret. Now I'm barring from the A string downwards. Okay, and then putting my 3rd finger into the 7th fret. Now with that finger I'm actually only covering 3 strings, the same 3 strings that you play when you play an A chord, which is actually D, G and B, those 3 strings there. So, and I'm actually leaving the bottom string just covered by the bar in the 5th fret. If you've not seen that bar before, that's what that looks like. I always call it an A shape because it sort of is. So that's the first variation, and then we've got the variation on the G, which is the F shape. There in the 3rd fret. So if you've seen F, or you can play it like that as well. There's your F. Same difference. That's your G chord. So they're the 2 variations that we use in this section. So it starts off with D chord. Now I'm not going to change the shape of this for this first section, so I'll show you the right hand again, the actual picking that I'm doing here. So picking on the A string itself. So it's now I'm plucking okay, so it's the A string and the E string together, and then the next 2 strings up from the high E string. Okay, so you got, and then when I play the E string, I'm going to play the E string again and the A string together. So it's okay. You can see the strings moving there, can't you? So okay. So and then we go to the G. Okay. Now the reason I'm playing the G there is because my little finger is actually going to go into the 5th fret. I'll show you here. See there? So it's not there at the moment. I'm trying to get a good camera angle here. So we've got now you can see what I'm plucking there. It's the D string and the E string together. Okay. So, and then I put my little finger into the 5th fret. So, okay. And then what I do is slide. I've got this finger here covering these 2 strings. I slide that down 1 fret into the 2nd fret. So, but only very briefly because I don't really want that note in there. It's this note I'm after. So it's okay. So right hand again. So basically just plucking that E string. Okay, and then the A chord. Now I'm going to use the variation from the part 1 again. So okay, so that showed you that in part 1. I use it again. And then we go back to the D chord. So we got, show you that. G. Little finger on. So little finger off. D. I'll show you what I'm doing there with the D. Okay, so it's, now what I actually did there, that took my middle finger off again. So okay, so and then A. So okay. And then you've got the last part, which is It's So Lonely Around the Fields of Athenry, which is, it's on the A chord. Now what we do on this one, it's mainly with my little finger on the E string. So my little finger is going to, I'll show you now. That's basically, okay. So I've got the A chord on top of it. That's what my little fingers do. I'll show you the picking for that. So I am plucking the A string a couple of times there. Basically keeping the beat, so it's at 1, 2, 3, so it's, and then so my little finger's going onto the B string there, 3rd fret. Again, it's just up from the A on the A chord. So it's just a little finger going in there. You can't really see it there, but it's a G chord, normal G. Now the strings I'm plucking there is the top E string and the B string here. So I'm plucking the 3rd fret E string, 3rd fret B string, and then the open G and the open D. I'll show you that there. And I put my own little hammer on in there, which is the A on the A string and the D string. It's in the 2nd fret, so it's just A, hammer on, D, hammer on, and then finish on a D chord. Okay, so section 2 should look like this. Okay, a couple of dodgy notes from me there, but that's basically the gist of how it's played. Hope that helps. Thank you.